becoming more in tune with like the journey.
It kind of mended my own relationship with food as well.
And like more empowering, really.
So it's just like finding that balance and seeing what works for me now.
Hi, I'm Natalie.
Hi, I'm Anne.
Hi, I'm Carly.
Hi, I'm Poppi.
And in this video, we're just having an open discussion talking about our challenges while dieting or healthy eating and how we overcame them. I've like dieted like on and off like a lot since like high school. Like a lot of like body image like issues and like trying to like figure out like who I was and like kind of like what I wanted, and then also like a mix of like keeping up with like what like the trends were. Like, I had like some good methods and then obviously some not so good methods. Some of the not so good methods would be like super restricting myself, so like drinking like 2 glasses of water before each meal, or I would only have 1 large meal for the day. It took me a while to kind of like get over that and fix my thought of like what healthy eating like really is, you know? So just more focusing on what I'm putting in my body and like the types of ingredients that I'm putting in my body, as opposed to like I need to lose this by this kind of thing, and just like becoming more in tune with like the journey.
My history with dieting isn't great. Growing up, I was known as like the skinny child. That was like my identity, and obviously when you grow up, you get bigger, you gain weight, and going into high school, that's when the changes start to happen. Even going into university, obviously I lived on campus, so I would eat out a lot. The portion sizes were a lot bigger than what I was used to, and I gained almost 20 pounds in like the first 2 years alone. And every time I would come home to visit my family, they would always comment and they would be like, well, how can you be studying nutrition? How can you want to be a dietitian if you can't even help yourself? It kind of messed with my relationship with food too. When I worked with a registered dietitian who specialized in eating disorders, I volunteered with her, and obviously I got to shadow her for a bit, and learning from her and learning the way that she helped her own clients, it kind of mended my own relationship with food as well. Instead of like focusing on like restricting how much I eat or restricting my calories and taking a whole food group out, I practice more of like intuitive eating now, where I just listen to my body. If I'm hungry, I eat. If I'm full, then I stop. And obviously I try not to focus too much on like what my body looks like or what the number on the scale is now. More just about how I feel versus how I look. When I was younger, I did suffer a lot of body dysmorphia. I would cut off a lot of my foods as well. It suppressed my mood a lot as well. And when it suppressed my mood, like I started eating like foods that were not as good for me. I realized that eating like high vibrational foods and stuff that like kind of helps like my mood and stuff will encourage me to like eat better. Like anything that like will make me feel better when I eat like is typically like the best route to go for me now.
When I was a kid, I was super thin as well. My mom, she always gave us sort of like healthier foods. Then kind of as we grew up, you know, it wasn't as prominent anymore, and because I was always told at such a young age like how skinny I was, I could eat whatever I want, I kind of just did that. Like I was always just eating whatever I wanted. And when I hit around high school, and I had the same eating habit, it kind of caught up to me in high school. I started gaining a little bit of weight, and this was like the first time that I was like, oh, like I kind of had to think about these things like dieting and like how I'm treating my body. And when I like got into a relationship and I was like eating a lot more food, you know, that's what you do like when you're in a relationship, you eat a lot, like gained some relationship weight and then the pandemic hit, and that's when like my weight gain started to like kind of accelerate. After like that first quarantine is when I started my first kind of like diet, and it wasn't just about weight gain too. Like I knew what I was putting in my body like wasn't healthy for me and was contributing to like things like mental health as well. The way that I did it works for some people, but it doesn't work for other people. Basically what I did was I did fast, but I did like intermittent fasting. After I'd lost the weight, I kind of lost the motivation, and so I started like binge eating again and like thinking I could eat whatever I like. I'm in a place right now where I'm struggling with binging a little bit, but like I know that I had enough motivation in the past to do it and it worked for me. I think I just need to find like something that works for me now. and my lifestyle and see what's healthy, and I'm just trying to like figure it out right now.
The biggest challenge like I've faced and I'm currently facing, so like I'm Jamaican, we eat a lot of like heavy food. I live with like my sister and like her kids, so whenever like I'm thinking like maybe I can just like make myself like a grilled chicken and veggies, like I never feel like comfortable enough just making like myself like dinner and then not for everybody else. Do I make 2 separate dinners then? And then I'm like, no, I don't want to do that, I'm too tired. So then I just make like one big like meal like for everybody.
But then like the kids might not like the things that you're
Exactly.
trying to do.
So then that's why like I end up just making like what everybody would like.
I'd say that's like a big challenge for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, so like similar to you, like I come from an Asian household and like rice like pairs well with everything. Like I'm not in charge of cooking, my mom does all the cooking and she kind of decides what we eat for the day as well. I guess the way I handle it is just like I just watch my portion sizes of each to align more with like my whole intuitive eating.
I'll have to try that.
Portion
size.
It's a little bit different. I have like my own space at home, so I kind of like cook for myself. Right now, the challenges that I have is probably like relationship wise. My boyfriend likes to have a lot of sweets and stuff. Like I can't like eat the same foods that he does. Like is like a little bit like rough on me. Since I have been like building my own like relationship with food, it's been a little bit easier to and like more empowering really to like eat like the healthier foods and just say no and like enjoy them with like moderation.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you guys. Like when I was living on my own, that's when with my friends, that's when I was dieting and like I was trying to lose weight, so it was a lot easier for me because I did all my own groceries, I did all my, I made all my own meals, I meal planned for myself and everything, and like all of my roommates, we ate separate dinners. Like most of the time we ate separate dinners. There was challenges with that as well. Like my roommates, they were both like, they weren't dieting, and I felt like they were kind of doing what I was doing before, just kind of eating whatever they wanted, and like when I was fasting at nighttime, like we would like hang out and they were able to eat and I just couldn't, so I kind of just had to like watch them, which was like really frustrating. It was difficult, but it was also like, it felt nice because I did it, like I watched them and I like overcame it, and I did allow myself cheat nights and stuff like that, which is what I felt like you said, like balance, like it makes it a lot easier.
So a tip that I would probably have for somebody who is starting off their journey for the first time is what works for somebody else won't work for you. So you just really have to take the time to like sit down and evaluate and see like, what am I really trying to accomplish, You'll be able to figure out what diet will work best for you, as well as realizing that like, it's not a race. Like there's no rush. You can take your time. You can take it day by day. You have a goal, yes, but you don't have to like sprint to the finish line in order to like achieve it.
To make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. Obviously, like based on our stories, that like we started dieting not with like the best intentions, and obviously that leads to less sustainable diet. So it's not long term if you don't have the right goal in place. Like if you want to feel healthier and feel happier, that is like a solid goal. But if you're trying to lose weight, then just having that in your mind constantly isn't sustainable and isn't good for your mental health either.
When it comes to like finding that balance, that is like the ultimate goal. Like it shouldn't feel like work.
Yes.
Like you're working on yourself, but it's still like you should still have fun with it.
Like once you've like accomplished something, like it can feel really good and you should feel really good, but like it's easy to kind of fall off. So maybe just keeping in mind, like once you achieve your goal, like you're totally free to do whatever you want with your body. Try to like not hit a wall. Like once you've accomplished something, keep pushing. Doesn't mean you have to be doing it as hardcore as you were before, but try and like maintain that healthy balance.
Thank you guys so much for sitting down with me and having a discussion about your own experiences with healthy eating and dieting, and for sharing tips with everyone on if you're looking to start your own personal journey, like what things you can keep in mind to make sure you start off on the right foot. Bye.